You think words make you powerful, but your body already tells everything. You believe you choose your image, but small gestures secretly choose it for you. You mastered talking, yet a single wrong glance can erase all your influence. Your body speaks first, judges are formed before your mouth even opens. The human brain scans posture, eyes, and micro movements in a fraction of a moment. This scan decides respect, attraction, threat, or dismissal long before conscious thought. You feel it around others, but you rarely notice it around yourself. Dark psychology treats body language like a silent weapon, not a decoration. It is not just about looking confident, it is about controlling frames. A frame is the invisible rule that decides who follows and who leads. Your body constantly broadcasts which side you belong to without asking your permission. Notice how tension collects in your shoulders when you feel small or threatened. Your spine bends slightly, your chest closes, your neck angles down without instruction. This shrinking posture tells every watching nervous system that you accept a lower rank. They do not think this consciously, their instincts just place you beneath their line. Now reverse it through deliberate control, not fake posing. When your spine grows tall and relaxed, you send a different signal entirely. Your chest opens slightly, your shoulders drop but do not collapse inward. Your head stays level, not too high, not searching for permission. This posture quietly says you belong here, and you are not movable. Machiavelli once said, if appearances are mastered, minds follow without resistance. In modern psychology, body language is the first appearance your brain reads. A calm, upright posture becomes your armor. It is not loud, it is undeniable. Even before you speak, nervous systems around you adjust to this quiet certainty. Breathing is the next invisible control lever. Shallow and fast breathing makes your gestures shaky and fragmented without your awareness. Other people feel something unstable, even if your words sound correct and polished. Deep, slow breathing through your nose makes movements smooth and deliberate. Your hands follow a slower tempo, your eyes move with more patience. This rhythm tells others you are not rushed by their emotions or reactions. Eye contact is another powerful command channel, often abused or misunderstood. Staring aggressively does not create influence. It creates resistance and hidden hostility. Looking away too quickly signals submission, uncertainty, and weak self-trust. True psychological presence sits between these extremes like a balanced blade. You hold eye contact long enough to show stability, then release calmly without escape. Your gaze returns when needed, never flinching under silence or disagreement. This pattern says your attention is a choice, not a desperate request. Hand movements are micro-signatures of your internal state. Nervous fidgeting, tapping, or scratching all reveal uncontrolled tension and scattered focus. Large, fast gestures show emotional flooding, even when words claim complete control. Small, precise gestures, timed with key phrases, show a disciplined internal frame. You point rarely, you cut the air gently to mark important sentences. You keep hands visible, never locked in pockets like you want to disappear. Space is one of the most misunderstood body language weapons. When you shrink your space, you tell others they may expand into yours. Standing too close shows neediness, standing too far shows fear or self-exile. The influential presence claims comfortable space without apology, yet respects clear boundaries. Feet slightly apart, weight equally balanced, no restless shifting from side to side. This stance builds an invisible perimeter around you that others automatically acknowledge. Albert Bandura once said, if repeated signals shape belief, repeated body cues shape identity. Every time you repeat weak posture, rushed blinking, and restless limbs, you train weakness. Every time you repeat calm breathing, steady spine, and measured gestures, you train power. Your body becomes a script repeatedly rehearsed, and your mind reads it as truth. Here is the hidden twist. Others are always programming you through their body language too. Their towering posture can make you feel smaller. Their invasive gaze can steal your calm. Their restless movements can drag your nervous system into their anxiety without any word spoken. You think you are just reacting naturally, but your reactions are carefully shaped copies. Dark psychology does not tell you to dominate everyone around you. It tells you to stop being an unconscious receiver of their nonverbal commands. When you notice posture, breath, gaze, hands, and space, you start seeing silent scripts. You see who is trying to claim the frame and who is surrendering it. You see when your own body quietly betrays the image you want to project. The real question is simple yet uncomfortable. Will you keep obeying every unspoken signal around you? Or will you finally decide to command the language your body has been speaking without you? You think you move freely, but unseen signals already guide your reactions. You believe you decide your confidence, but micro-gestures decide it first. You feel aware, yet your body accepts invisible commands before your mind notices. The deeper layer of influence begins with micro-expressions, the smallest emotional leaks. These movements last only a fraction of a second, yet they expose internal truth instantly. Your face reveals tension long before your words pretend calm or strength. When your eyebrows tighten even slightly, others sense hidden fear or pressure. When your lips press together for a brief moment, others feel your hesitation. When your jaw locks for a second, they detect suppressed frustration or insecurity. Dark psychology teaches that people judge these micro-leaks unconsciously every moment. They scan your face for stability, weakness, confusion, or control without effort. To become influential, you must learn to reduce emotional leakage. This is not suppression, it is awareness plus deliberate control. First principle, relax your facial baseline. A calm, neutral expression signals internal command even when emotions move beneath. Neutral does not mean emotionless, it means balanced and responsive without tension. Slow breathing softens cheek muscles, unclenches your jaw, and steadies your eyes. People trust a face that does not twitch with random stress. Second principle, control your blink rate. Fast blinking signals overwhelm, fear, or discomfort, and weakens your authority instantly. Slow, steady blinking signals composure, patience, and inner clarity. The brain reads slow blinking as a sign of a stable, dominant presence. Third principle, sharpen your gaze discipline. Your eyes should not dart rapidly, scanning for approval or escape routes. This creates an image of someone waiting for permission to exist. Instead, shift your gaze with intention, not panic. Move from target to target with calm pacing, not frantic checking. Your gaze becomes a quiet guide, not a reactive broadcast of insecurity. Fourth principle, eliminate self-touching habits during communication. Touching your neck, adjusting your hair, or rubbing your hands each signal tension. These gestures tell others you cannot regulate your emotional state. When you remove these habits, you project steadiness without needing words. Breathing again becomes the silent anchor you must return to. Deep, controlled breaths slow your facial movements and micro-tensions. When breath is stable, expressions become smoother and less chaotic. When breath is unstable, your face becomes an uncontrolled broadcast of doubt. Now go deeper into posture mechanics, the architecture of influence. Your spine decides the emotional tone of your presence. A collapsed spine makes you smaller in the psychological theater. An overextended spine makes you appear defensive or forced. Only a relaxed, upright spine sends the message of grounded authority. Your shoulders reveal more truth than you expect. Raised shoulders show fear and hesitation. Collapsed shoulders show defeat and low internal energy. Shoulders slightly back and relaxed show quiet confidence, not aggression. Your neck position changes how others evaluate your certainty. A downward tilt signals avoidance and insecurity. An upward tilt signals arrogance and ego inflation. A level parallel neck signals balance and self-trust. Under dark psychology, this balanced posture becomes a silent frame claim. You are not asking for a place, you are taking your natural position. People treat you based on how your body treats itself. Respect often begins before a single sentence is spoken. Machiavelli once said, if control begins with perception, then the body must shape perception first. Your body becomes your first strategy, your first message, and your first defense. Energy distribution is another overlooked part of influence. When your movements are scattered, your presence feels weak and diluted. When you move only with purpose, your presence feels solid and undeniable. Pause before you act, then act with intention, not impulse. This pause creates psychological weight that others subconsciously register. Now consider limb alignment. When your feet point outward or shift rapidly, people sense instability. When your feet remain grounded and aligned toward your focus, you appear consistent. Your feet reject or accept frames long before your words do. You now see the pattern. Influence is not a loud performance. It is a carefully aligned physical blueprint, silently training others how to read you. Your body is a manual others follow without knowing they are following it. Your influence rises when you edit this manual deliberately instead of accidentally. But here is the twist you must understand. If others read your signals so easily, what hidden signals are you absorbing from them right now? And how many of those signals have already shaped the person you think you chose to become? You think you control your presence, but your nervous system controls it first. You believe you decide your aura, but your patterns decide it before intention. You feel aware, yet your body broadcasts signals you never approved. The next layer of influence hides inside rhythm, timing, and pacing. Every movement you make carries a tempo, and this tempo reveals your internal hierarchy. Fast, uncontrolled pacing signals low status in every social environment. Calm, controlled pacing signals authority because it shows you are not pushed by emotion. Your nervous system mirrors the energy around you without asking for permission. When others move fast, you often speed up. When others slow down, you often follow their rhythm. This automatic synchronizing reveals who is leading and who is following. Dark psychology teaches that the one who controls the rhythm controls the frame. If your movements, breath, and gaze stay slow and steady, others begin matching you. Their subconscious adjusts to your state, not the other way around. This is influence without force, dominance without demand. Start with movement pacing. Move your hands only when your sentence needs emphasis. Pause slightly before a gesture, then perform it smoothly and slowly. This creates a visual hierarchy that others instinctively respect. Never wave your hands rapidly or fidget during silence. Stillness is a stronger message than motion. Your walking pace reveals even more truth. Fast walking signals urgency and emotional pressure. Slow, controlled walking signals certainty and high internal command. The human brain interprets slow movement as power because power does not rush. Your pace trains others to respond to you with patience, not pressure. Your breathing again becomes the foundation. Shallow breath increases movement speed, eye darting, and emotional reactivity. Deep breath slows everything down and creates an aura of calm control. Your influence depends on which breath pattern dominates your day. Now consider timing in speech. Speaking too fast signals insecurity and fear of interruption. Speaking too slowly signals artificial performance or lack of conviction. The powerful presence speaks at a balanced rhythm with intentional pauses. The pause becomes your quiet anchor, forcing others to wait for your next thought. This waiting shifts control toward you without aggression. Machiavelli once said, "If you command the pace, you command perception." Your pacing shapes how others interpret your intelligence, stability, and presence. Now examine a deeper element, emotional containment. People reveal their emotional state through uncontrolled limb acceleration. Fear makes gestures snappy. Anger makes gestures explosive. Insecurity makes gestures twitchy. None of these build influence. Influence rises from calm, contained expression, even when emotions move within. You do not hide emotions, you simply prevent them from leaking uncontrollably. Your body becomes a sealed container, not a spilling vessel. Then comes microsymmetry, a trait linked with perceived authority. Symmetry is not about perfect balance, it is about consistent alignment. When one shoulder lifts unconsciously or one foot angles outward, others sense instability. When your posture remains symmetrical, you signal a disciplined internal state. Symmetry creates psychological comfort in observers, making your presence easier to follow. Now focus on stillness under pressure. When someone challenges you, Your body wants to react immediately. Your shoulders tense, your blinking rate increases, and your hands prepare to move. These reactions weaken your perceived influence because they show emotional capture. But if you remain still for one controlled breath, you reverse the situation. Stillness under challenge projects mastery. Stillness during conflict projects confidence. Stillness during tension projects dominance without aggression. People instinctively respect the one who does not flinch. Albert Bandura once said, if self-control shapes belief, then bodily control shapes identity. Your influence grows each time your body remains aligned under emotional friction. You now reach the hidden domain of energy projection. Not mystical energy, but behavioral energy expressed through boundaries. Boundaries are felt through posture, eye discipline, and space control. A strong boundary tells others where influence begins and where it ends. A weak boundary invites intrusion without verbal permission. Your boundary is communicated by how you hold space. Stand tall with relaxed shoulders, grounded feet, and steady breath. Keep your chin level and your eyes stable. This creates a subtle barrier that others recognize unconsciously. They approach carefully, speak differently, and adjust their tone. Your boundary shapes their behavior. But a boundary must be consistent or it collapses. If you hold strong posture for one moment and collapse the next, your influence fades. Your body trains others how to treat you through repetition, not isolated effort. Now observe tension patterns. Tension in the jaw indicates unspoken fear. Tension in the neck indicates suppressed disagreement. Tension in the shoulders indicates hidden insecurity. Tension in the hands indicates internal battle. Others read these tensions instantly, even when they do not know why. You must release tension through breath and posture to prevent unwanted signaling. The less tension you carry, the more influence you project. Influence is the absence of internal chaos, visible in your movements. Your voice also plays a vital role in body language influence. Your voice tone is shaped by posture, breath, and emotional stability. A tense body makes your voice sharp and shaky. A calm body makes your voice slow and grounded. You do not force a deep tone, you let breath shape it naturally. A grounded voice commands attention without raising volume. People listen more closely when your voice carries weight without strain. The voice becomes an extension of your body's message. Now examine the concept of psychological anchoring. Anchoring is the pattern your presence creates over time. If your body consistently shows calm authority, people anchor you as influential. If your body shows inconsistency, they anchor you as unstable. They respond based on their anchor, not your current mood. Your influence becomes automatic once the anchor forms. Finally, understand emotional magnetism. People feel drawn to someone whose body language offers safety and certainty. When you remain calm during chaos, others seek your presence. When you show stability through posture and breath, others unconsciously align with you. Influence grows when people feel regulated by your presence. But here is the psychological twist you must face. If your aura shapes others so easily, what new level of control will you unlock when you learn to shape the invisible signals that even you have ignored until now? You think your influence depends on intention, but it depends on internal alignment. You believe people judge your words, but they judge your subtle signals first. You feel conscious, yet unconscious cues control how others respond to you. Now you enter the deepest layer of body language influence, the territory of psychological positioning. This is not about posture or gestures alone. It is about the invisible hierarchy your body creates. Every interaction has an upper and lower position, even when no one speaks about it. Your body decides your position long before your mind chooses it. Psychological positioning begins with the angle of your body. Turning your body too much towards someone signals need for approval. Turning too far away signals avoidance or distrust. A slight angle, balanced and neutral, communicates independence and calm strength. You are neither chasing nor escaping. You are simply present with certainty. Your head movements reveal even more. Rapid nodding signals desperation for agreement. Slow, controlled nodding signals understanding without submission. A still head with occasional deliberate nods signals authority and quiet command. Others adjust their tone when your head movements become intentional. Dark psychology teaches that the dominant frame is held by the one who displays the slowest body movement. Slower movement shows lack of pressure and lack of fear. Your body tells others that you do not react to their tempo, they react to yours. The moment you control the tempo, you control the frame. Now study expansion and contraction patterns. Expansion does not mean taking too much space. It means removing unnecessary shrinking. Contraction means collapsing inward without realizing it. Your body contracts when you feel judged, evaluated, or challenged. Your shoulders wrap inward, your arms tighten, your neck lowers slightly. Others instantly sense this and mentally place you below them. Expansion is a subtle reclaiming of space. Your spine lengthens, your shoulders roll back slightly, your breath deepens. Your arms stay relaxed at your sides, not locked or crossed defensively. You look as if you belong, not as if you seek permission. This natural expansion radiates quiet power that others cannot ignore. Machiavelli once said, if confidence must be projected, then posture must become its instrument. Your body becomes the tool through which your internal command is expressed. Now enter the realm of micro-timing and response delay. Response delay is the short pause you take before reacting to words or events. This delay signals that your emotions are not owned by external forces. You think before reacting, not react before thinking. Others see this and instinctively respect your internal stability. When someone tries to provoke a reaction, your delay disrupts their strategy. Instead of catching your energy, they receive silence. This silence becomes your invisible shield. Your influence grows through these delays. Deliberate pauses during speech create psychological gravity around your presence. Others lean in subconsciously, waiting for your next word. Their nervous systems adjust to your rhythm and align with your composure. Now move to the concept of nonverbal dominance markers. Dominance markers are not aggressive or threatening. They are calm, consistent cues that signal control of self and environment. Examples include a steady gaze without flinching, a relaxed jaw, shoulders positioned evenly, hands placed calmly and visibly, balanced foot placement, a still torso during stress. These markers tell others that your internal authority is stable. You do not need to perform dominance because your body already displays it. Albert Bandura once said, if behavior shapes identity, then controlled behavior shapes power. Your body trains your identity repeatedly through these nonverbal signals. Now examine the hidden system of emotional mirroring. People copy the dominant emotional state in the interaction. If you remain calm, they copy calm. If you remain grounded, they copy grounded. If you remain steady, they copy steady. Your emotional stability becomes their guide. This is how influence becomes silent. You do not tell people what to feel. Your body shows them what to feel. The most influential people do not impose emotion. They regulate the emotional field around them just by existing within it. Your presence becomes a psychological anchor for others. They feel safer, clearer, and more focused when aligned with you. But there is a twist hidden inside this power. Emotional regulation becomes influence only when your internal state is truly aligned. If you fake calmness, your micro-expressions will betray you. If you fake confidence, your breathing will reveal tension. If you fake certainty, your eyes will expose doubt. True influence starts when your inner world and outer signals match completely. When your posture reflects your breath. When your gaze reflects your intention. When your gestures follow your emotional clarity. When your movement rhythm reflects your self-belief. This creates what psychology calls coherence. Coherence makes your presence magnetic without effort. Coherent signals attract attention because the human brain trusts consistency. But very few people master coherence because it requires full awareness of every signal. Signals you never trained. Signals you never evaluated. signals you never controlled. And here is the question waiting at the edge of this discovery. If coherence makes you influential without a single word, what happens when you begin controlling the signals that others do not even know exist? You think influence is about speaking correctly, but it begins long before language. You believe your mind leads your body, but your body leads your mind first. You feel intentional, yet unseen signals decide how powerful you appear. Now you enter the territory of psychological gravity, the force that pulls attention toward you. This gravity is not charisma, it is not charm, it is not performance. It is the total weight of your controlled signals combining into one silent command. People feel this gravity before they understand it. Psychological gravity begins with controlled presence. Presence is not about being loud or noticeable. Presence is the absence of scattered energy. When your movements are precise, your breathing is balanced and your posture remains stable. You create an invisible pull that draws the nervous systems of others into alignment. Your presence becomes the anchor in any environment. Others feel less stable when they lose your gaze. Others feel less clear when they step away from your radius. Others feel a shift when your energy withdraws or expands. This is psychological gravity in its purest form. Dark psychology explains that gravity emerges from certainty, not from dominance. Certainty is the conviction that you do not need validation to exist powerfully. Certainty appears in slow gestures, calm eyes, and grounded shoulders. Certainty makes others doubt their emotional noise and trust your quiet clarity. Your breath again becomes the root of this certainty. A stable breath creates stable micro-expressions. Stable micro-expressions create stable posture. Stable posture creates stable frame. Stable frame creates gravity. The entire system collapses if breath collapses. Now explore the concept of micro-claiming. Micro-claiming is how your body takes subtle ownership of nonverbal space. It is not aggressive, not intrusive, and not controlling. It is calm placement of your hands, calm alignment of your feet, and calm orientation of your torso. When you place a hand lightly on a surface with relaxed weight, people sense presence. When you stand with feet equally grounded, people sense structure. When your torso faces forward with slight openness, people sense confidence. Micro-claiming signals internal authority, not physical dominance. Machiavelli once said, "If you appear certain, others will offer their certainty to you." This is the essence of micro-claiming. Now enter the domain of still focus. Still focus is the art of placing your attention with intention. Your gaze becomes a tool, not a reaction. You look at someone long enough for them to feel seen, but not long enough to appear dependent or eager. You shift your gaze slowly, allowing a pause before redirecting. This still focus creates psychological emphasis. Whatever you look at increases in value for everyone around you. Live targets, spoken words, physical objects, actions or silence. Your attention becomes a magnifying lens that shapes the meaning of everything around you. Now examine the hidden layer called emotional anchoring. Anchoring is not only verbal, it is physical. Your posture becomes the reference point for how others feel. Your breath becomes the reference tempo for their nervous system. Your eyes become the reference for their emotional interpretation. If you remain stable, they feel safe. If you remain grounded, they feel regulated. If you remain clear, they feel guided. Albert Bandura once said, "If human behavior spreads through observation, then controlled behavior spreads controlled states." By stabilizing yourself, you stabilize the emotional reality of the group. Now you reach the deeper concept, controlled micro-vulnerability. True influence does not reject softness, it controls the timing of softness. A slight warm expression used intentionally can increase trust instantly. A small head tilt at the right moment can show openness without losing authority. A softening of the eyes during calm listening creates psychological connection. Controlled vulnerability strengthens influence because it feels authentic. But you deploy it with precision, not impulse. You choose when to soften and when to remain firm. This balance creates a paradox that the human brain finds irresistible. Strong enough to stand alone, soft enough to approach. But consistency is the critical piece. Inconsistent cues destroy influence. If your posture shifts randomly, people feel unstable around you. If your tone fluctuates without reason, people sense uncertainty. If your gaze loses discipline, people feel you are emotionally swayed too easily. The influential presence is predictable in its stability. Your signals align, repeat and reinforce a single message. I am in control of myself, therefore I am in control of this moment. But here is the psychological twist that many never notice. If gravity forms when your internal signals align, what greater power emerges when you begin controlling signals that others cannot even detect consciously? You think you have reached the peak of influence, but a deeper layer still exists. You believe you understand your body, but your body understands you before you do. You feel in command, yet invisible signals continue shaping how others follow you. Now you enter the final realm of dark psychological influence, the mastery of internal state broadcasting. This is not performance, not confidence, not posture. It is the alignment of mind, physiology, and intention so deeply that your presence communicates more than your words ever can. Internal state broadcasting begins with emotional coherence. Coherence means your breath, posture, gaze, and micro-expressions all speak one unified emotional message. When your body carries one message, your aura becomes unmistakable. When your body carries conflicting messages, your aura becomes confused and weak. The coherent state is simple but rare. Calm breath, steady posture, focused gaze, controlled gestures, consistent rhythm. People trust this state because it feels stable and predictable. The human brain follows what feels stable. Your influence becomes automatic once coherence becomes repetition. Dark psychology explains that coherence is the ultimate form of nonverbal power. Coherence makes you appear intelligent even before you speak. Coherence makes you appear confident even without trying. Coherence makes you appear grounded even in uncertainty. But coherence is only one layer. Now your task is to master internal intention shaping. Intention shaping is the silent command your body sends before you decide to speak or move. Your intention influences others because their brains register your emotional aim before they register your words. If your intention is to impress, your body collapses slightly. If your intention is to defend, your body tightens. If your intention is to dominate, your body becomes rigid. If your intention is to observe, your body becomes still and alert. But if your intention is to influence with quiet certainty, your body aligns instantly into the most powerful state. Open posture, calm breath, soft gaze, smooth gestures, slow rhythm. Your body becomes a psychological mirror, reflecting the state you choose, not the state you fall into. Machiavelli once said, "If you master your projection, you master their perception." Intention is your projection. Body language is your delivery. Now move into the rarest layer, the ability to disrupt unwanted influence silently. Disruption is not resistance. Disruption is not aggression. Disruption is simply refusing to absorb their emotional signals. You disrupt influence when you do not mirror their fear. You do not mirror their anger. You do not mirror their insecurity. You do not mirror their chaos. Your stillness breaks their pattern. Their emotional pressure fails to enter your system. Their attempts to destabilize you lose momentum. This is psychological shielding. Shielding is the moment your presence becomes untouchable. Albert Bandura once said, "If you control your reactions, you control your identity." Shielding is identity control at the deepest level. You now understand something most people never learn. Influence is not about winning interactions. Influence is about controlling your internal broadcast so completely that others automatically respond to your emotional leadership. Your breath becomes the rhythm they follow. Your gaze becomes the stability they trust. Your posture becomes the reference they align with. Your presence becomes the field they adapt to. This is the highest form of influence, a state where you no longer push to be influential. You simply exist in a way that others cannot ignore. The secret manual reveals its final truth. Your body is not just communicating. It is training others how to treat you, training others how to respond to you, training others how to feel around you. And now the final question waits for you like a silent test. If your presence can shape the emotional state of an entire environment, what will happen when you finally decide to shape the emotional state within yourself with the same precision you use to shape the world around you?